Here we go. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good evening. Welcome to our February 4th Board of Selectmen meeting. Roll call. John Hotchkiss here.
Bill Bailey here, God bless the Patriots.
John Mullen here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
First item. We still need another public hearing? Separation of town clerk, tax collector?
No, did I not? Sorry, copied it from last week.
Cancel that.
Keep doing that.
Action item, minutes from the Board of Selectmen meeting from January 28th.
I move to accept the meeting as transcribed for January 28th.
All right, I've seen it already.
Same here, I'll second it.
Second, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Good. Sale of property paperwork.
Okay,
Which one?
so this is the two from last week.
Oh, both of them.
Well, I have met with one, but I figure I should save time and do it all.
No moss brewing under you.
I'll make sure I can do it. Yep. There's the deed. And then all you have to sign is your CD 57, where your name is. You have to sign and date on that one.
You okay with this?
Oh, yes, this is what we approved last week. Now the paperwork comes forth.
How come you don't have a little sticky thing in there? I can't figure
Doesn't matter, you know him anyhow.
There's one spot. The top sheet here.
it.
It's a
Signature.
waste of sticky things, of saving you money.
Do you need next?
That would help. That would save money, but that would use ink.
This was 130 Pleasant Valley Road. From
And
last
we
week.
dated today, is that correct?
Yes.
So, 02, 04, 2, 0, 1.
So we have a quick claim deed. That's what it is. The other one must be Peter's property.
Hey, you can keep it if you want.
No, can't go back on it now.
And here, this is the
Only kidding.
paperwork for the spot on Spruce.
Spruce. Oh, yes.
Surprised so many people want it.
My mom said my land, they're not making any more of it.
This is the CDA or whatever you call it.
CD 57?
CD, this is the CD 57.
Okay. Let's see, it should be Peter's.
This is the CD 57. Sorry. To make jest of our duties.
That's right.
John. Peter.
Oh,
This goes with the next one. I keep it all together.
Pass it on.
Otherwise, it'll take me 5 minutes to figure out what I've done tomorrow.
Okay. That's it?
That's
All right.
those.
Jan Sanders title search contract.
Okay. That's this one.
Is this in conjunction for a certain property or just in general?
Nope, in general, we sign a contract with Jane Sanders. She does all of our title searches for liens and deeding process and all of that.
Would this be similar to Title Pro?
Kinda, yeah, but it's just our.
It's who we use.
Yeah.
Want me to use one signature on it?
No, all three of you, I believe it says officers and so I don't know
I'll
why.
sign first so I know
Sure.
where to sign.
she a paralegal?
I'll get you some pink stickers. I'm not sure what her title is.
He didn't sign
No, he
No,
didn't, he's
they're
waiting
waiting
for
for
you.
it.
Must have some credentials or you wouldn't have chosen her. She must be a title company.
She works for herself. She's
Well,
got her
no.
own, yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean, she
but
says
why?
she's. But
She's the one we've used for years. It's not new. It's the same one.
In knowing New Hampshire, she's licensed because you have to license for everything that you do,
They put down flash plates here.
just about.
But, everything.
No wonder they have a license to make leaves.
All right, Sansucci contracts,
Okay,
please.
so this one's a little more detailed. This is from the
Who
attorney.
is Mr. Sansucci? You say?
I don't know. He's an engineer and an appraiser. This comes from
Is he out of Littleton?
Concord.
Okay. Different person.
This contract comes from Mitchell Group. This is in regards to the Eversource BTLA case. They are,
BTLA, Bureau of Tax and Land Appeal.
yes, they are suggesting we use him because he's more educated in this case.
Who'd we use the last time? This is-
Mitchell, we've been using Mitchell.
But it's a different person who's trying to get their money, the taxes reduced this time, right? It's not the same thing over.
No, because that was a fair point, right? This last one I paid out was fair point.
We didn't say what we're talking about. Some person,
Street lights, telephone poles or something.
right, figured out that the towns can tax whoever owns the telephone poles. Interesting theory because it's located on town right away. Okay? So, throughout the state of New Hampshire, all these towns started taxing whoever owns it, Eversource or the cable companies or whoever. And, well, it seems that there's some question as to why different towns charge different amounts. We were taken to court and lost. So we had to pay back, I don't know, 18,000 or something, but then.
we's in the town or we's in
Yeah,
the town?
the town, right. But then
Did they come up with a?
we changed the rates, and I guess we got our money back or close to it.
Is it a unison rate that they charge now throughout the state for?
I'm not sure whether it's based upon, assessment. How do you assess the telephone pole?
Well, no, I just didn't know if maybe if that's why they get sued, like some towns are saying it costs this much versus sometimes.
I won't get
What happens when you got a pole beside a pole like we got out here?
I don't know
One
about the
pole.
case,
So
but
is
I
it
would
full
say
pole and half
that
pole?
the premise for their case is, why is one town
You got a bunch of
charging
two poles
differently
out
than
there.
another town when it's just a utility pole? Not a telephone, but a utility
Right.
pole, and I don't know if they have a good case or not, but that's probably what it was saying, and probably towns assessed differently or had different rates, but I don't know why that would be the case, but it could be always done it this way, syndrome, which happens a lot.
But what about the lines that go from pole to pole? Aren't those above town property? Couldn't we tax those?
Airspace, I don't know.
I don't know, that's a little bit of stress.
You don't know the airspace.
All you gotta do is have your legislator.
Airspace is free, free area.
John?
Electrical companies are a monopoly. Their profit is based on what they have to spend every year, no matter what the cost, they get a percentage above that for their profit to work with. So whatever you do with taxes, however you want to do it, they're going to make the same amount of money. They'll charge you more rate or however to make up what the difference is. They're a monopoly. You can't
So
hurt
if you
them.
take the whole state and stuff like that, they just go up .001 on the tax rate, now it cover anything to do with the taxes they have to pay on poles and stuff like that. So actually, we're paying for it either way, we're paying for it. No matter how you slice it, we pay for it.
You're gonna,
In the
We're not
big
gonna wait.
cities, there is a concern about airspace. That if there's a tall building going up next to you,
Yeah.
you have some rights.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a little small church and there's a 50-story building going up, you have some rights to.
If your shade is if you're shaded where you used to, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we have that problem here.
My ice
So,
don't smell, melt off the roof like it used to. Your building's too tall.
Okay, this is internal now, a new timesheet for mileage. People are entitled to mileage under certain conditions,
We had talked-
town
yeah.
employees. Go ahead.
No,
Right. For example, if someone goes to a seminar, takes their own vehicle, entitled to mileage. The town treasurer receives mileage for bringing deposits down to the bank. John, you receive mileage as part of your job using your private vehicle to go zipping around town checking on buildings. Okay? That's different than a police highway, which uses town vehicles,
Yeah.
right? So,
yeah, no.
all this is a new form for recording mileage. It should be uniform and should be used by anyone claiming mileage. Okay?
I'll send it.
And as the name of the employee, date, where you begin, where you end, and mileage, the hours, and so forth, okay? These are usually done 1 month at a time for someone like John that does a lot of traveling. Sandy Brutal
Treasurer.
does a lot. If you only go out for one training session in a month, then you just fill it out for that. All right, looks good.
All
You're in
right.
favor of it, Laura, this works for you?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
fine.
Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve the new town of Middleton mileage log and expense report as presented here.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed?
when's this gonna start?
Just a quick question, is there a date down the bottom of that, John?
Next month.
Like when it was, like when it was, yeah,
No, we'll put that in
yeah,
there.
just so that you
No,
know.
we need to put adopted on such and such a
I
day,
just-
such and
yeah.
such a day.
That way you know when it was.
Yes,
When does this go into effect?
you can put that.
Laura, when, you want it for this month?
Yeah, why not, ASAP? I mean, we're
Okay.
only into the 4th day of the
Yeah.
month, so anybody that can really just fill it out for the last 4
Yeah.
days.
So you have a bunch
You
of
can
copies
put-
made
When I
up?
send that to you, you can put the date adopted in the footer
Yep.
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I update this too? That's changed now, as of J.
Yeah, yeah.
Next item is timesheets for the fire department. Right now, the police department has full-time employees, part-time employees. They fill out a timesheet for the week. Same with the highway department. The fire department is a bit different in that it's done by the month, but we're looking to have the same basic format so that the one who prepares the checks, Laura, doesn't spend hours trying to figure out this form or that form. So, right now, Laura, I believe police and highway use the same basic format.
Yes.
All right, you're looking for the same format for fire. How is the, they just submit, like for a month, they submit 4 timesheets? Or is their sheet good for 1 month?
Their sheet should be good for 1 month. So what it is, it just breaks it out by person and then like what shifts they did, calls they did, training they did, and that's it. So basically it's what I compile at the beginning of every month when I get all of their forms. I do the same thing, I have to compile it. So
The
it's
other-
just so they can track
The
it.
other departments do the compiling.
Okay.
The fire department sends it over to us to compile, and then they need to compile their own, and that's what this is for. They have had, right, sheets similar to this to compile. Is that correct? Did you know?
No, I've always done it.
Okay, she's always done it. So they need to do their own compiling, just like the other departments do, instead of having Laura sit down here and compile.
Okay.
So this form was created that's similar to what she uses, And they need to, before they bring the payroll over here, it needs to be all set up, and then she just goes through it, she doesn't have to add anything up. It's all right here, it's like a cover sheet of all the different timesheets, or whatever they got.
Yeah, the police do this weekly, and the road agent does it weekly, and they submit that with their documentation.
For each
So,
employee.
Yeah, so if there's any questions from the employee or for the audit purposes, we have the payroll information that's compiled.
The individual sheets for the employees of the highway and the police, are those the same looking sheets?
Yes, they all have the same timesheet.
Okay. Is the fire department using the same or?
No, because they use programs.
Okay,
Because of how they do on-call shifts and stuff like that, it's all done via programs that you sign up for. So you just have to go into the program and print for the month, and it tallies it for you. So that just has to be transferred into there.
and you and I have talked about this. I think it's up to the fire department to tally their own information the same way that the other departments tally theirs. Now, I understand that the fire department is not full-time, but I also understand the fire department has a number of officers. If the chief doesn't have time, there's gotta be at least 2 or 3 other officers that could assist with this.
Yeah.
Okay? And would they get paid when they spend time doing that? Is that considered work?
It's
That's like
usually one of
training
your
is-
officer duties. I've never got paid to do it.
Okay, so it's just part of being the officer, right?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, Andrea
thought-
did it for years, and now I've been doing it for years, and
I agree that it should be done
It's
by
like the
them.
military, other duties as assigned.
pretty much.
Collateral duties.
I mean, you have to put in the Dr. Deal on that one too.
Yep. You want a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the new timesheet for the fire department, of which they are supposed to submit, completed with attaching timesheet documents.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Okay.
Was that an aye?
That's an aye, yes. Um,
Does this have any effect on me?
This one? The last one does.
Any form? Do I fill out my own form the way I normally do?
No, you're gonna have a new form tomorrow.
For both mileage and hours?
Alright.
Yes. For my, it's kind of like the same what you're doing now, just have a little bit more information. But
Alright,
it's not much different than what you fill out now.
okay.
We need to add to that form on the bottom, on the footer, data adopted and stuff.
And the signature, because you wanted a signature, what happened to that one? That must be the other one I made for you. Okay. Okay, yeah, we
Alright.
can do that.
Minor detail.
Abatements.
Kathleen has this abatement, one is from town property that she just didn't code it correctly, so it produced a tax bill. And this one from Mr. Flanagan, she's abating that, but it's going on to the new owner, so we're not losing that money, it just doesn't belong to him.
So we're abating ourselves, is that
Yes,
what we're doing?
yes. Part 1 is us, and then 2 is the wrong person.
Change the form around.
That, or they never changed it from a while ago. No. Town's being abated $18.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. Old business. The Albro Schwartzer property located on New Durham Road. A little history. There's really 2 pieces of property that kind of abut each other. There's a small one where a few years ago, at the request of the Schwartzers, the fire department practiced burning the house down. Since been cleaned up, nicely done. But in back of that is another house, has not been burnt down. That's part of the Switzer property. And what we're talking about here is the part where the house was, has nothing to do with where the house is, a little problem with paying taxes. Alright, what's up?
Okay, so they are still, that family is still arguing the fact of the redemption penalty. This is land only. You did make an agreement with them back, oh God, April to August of last year. They did not follow through with that arrangement, so all of the penalties and all of that's still there. They're looking for the town to basically get rid of the penalty. This is from their attorney to our attorney, and they're just looking for guidance from the town. Because I guess the people have suggested that you do not have to impose the rather such harsh penalty, and that they are free to make other arrangements as justice may require.
Alright.
But it is land
I'll address this if
only.
nobody else wants to.
What's that?
Talking to the other two selectmen, I'll address it if no one else wishes to.
I don't know that much about it,
So
so.
I sure do.
Here's the email if you'd like to read it.
They fell behind on paying taxes. Came in looking for some help. We offered help. They said, oh, we can have this. They sat right here and said, we can pay all this right now, but I'll have my checkbook. It's something to the effect that they can do it right now if you want us to. The selectman said, give you 2-3 months to finish this. It has to be all caught up by the end of August, I believe. Isn't it August? Yeah. And they were making payments. They did not make the last payment to finish this of $200-300. The deadline came and went. I even took the effort to call them and say, your deadline's coming. And when you miss the deadline, all the niceties go by the wayside. All that deal we made, oh, don't pay insurance, penalties, all that gets reimposed. So instead of $200, it's now a bigger chunk of money. Their choice for not paying, okay? And we discussed this and we said, no, you may buy it back, but you're gonna buy it back with all the penalties. So now they've hired a lawyer. The lawyer said, well, that's not right. But in fact, talking with our lawyer, what we did for the tax collector's office was exactly correct. So now, the lawyer is asking our lawyer if we can just forgive it all. I'd be more willing to do it if we hadn't already spent time setting up a payment plan that they blew off. They agreed to the plan.
We actually gave them an additional 30 days, because they said they could have it paid by the end of September. I mean,
End of July.
end of July. We gave them to the end of August. Just in case. They still didn't get taken care of.
That's,
My question.
yeah. Cool.
I agree that they do owe the money.
All right.
However, getting lawyers involved,
Mhm.
what amount of money are we talking about, and what are the lawyers' fees costing us?
I believe it's a minimal amount, and there was one conversation with our lawyer who said, what we're doing is just fine. Yeah. So, go ahead, I'm of a mind to say no.
I am too. I think if you read the communication from their attorney is trying to plea for us to forgive and forget with no legal standing that I can see. So I understand their position, but I think we've been more than gracious enough to try to help them out, and we can't continue this. If we set precedent when we do this, and we can't do that because we have to be fair to everybody. And I just think we gave them every possible chance to talk them through the issue, and I would say that we're finished.
Due to the lack of communication on their part internally, they
So
messed
what's,
up.
so what's the next course of action?
Draft a letter saying,
Sorry.
no, we're not changing.
You know, I just wasn't sure, I didn't know how that
Yeah, we'll
progressed.
just
or
say,
whatever.
you know, our decision that we made in previous meetings stands, that's all.
Okay.
This is the other person's lawyer, Swartz's lawyer.
Right.
It has been suggested that the selectmen don't have to impose the rather harsh 15% redemption penalty, that they are free to make other arrangements as justice may require. Okay? My clients did attend a selectmen's meeting in which they in effect begged for mercy, but they were told the selectmen didn't know how much authority they had to make the other arrangements. After we talked to the lawyer, we found out how much authority we had. Okay, so, we all agree?
Yep.
Laura, do you want me to draft the response?
Let the attorneys do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna respond to our attorney,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
And they can reach out
and
and
let
say, sorry.
her deal with the other.
And just let everybody know, I mean, we've been through plenty of meetings like that. We have always tried to help taxpayers to not get in this spot, okay? And we can't do it for them, so. I think we do
Yeah.
above and beyond what most places do.
Yes.
To try to help people, so.
All right. Next, new business. There are 3 developments around the lake. 2 on the back side, 1 on the front side, which is us here, Pinkham. The larger of the 2 on the back side, called Lake Estates.
We're talking about beaches.
Some
Yeah, I am.
Lakelands Association.
Lakelands Association. Started in the 80s. They formed a corporation or whatever, they filed with the state. Everybody's happy, except you have to keep filing with the state to maintain your status as a tax exempt association. They stopped doing that for about 20 years. The land that they owned reverted to the town.
Is this a different piece than the other
I
one?
thought
Yeah,
we just
I
did
thought
that one.
Thank
We
you,
did.
we did.
Okay,
That girl did all that work.
Yep, they
all
did.
that stuff.
But
but,
it seems that there are 2 pieces of property. The big one, we took care of, because the town does not want another beach.
Right,
Gave it back to them.
right.
That's the nice beach that everybody goes to. There's another beach, it says at the end of Birch Lane, it's still on Lake Shore. I don't think the beach is much bigger than this room right here. Terrible, all overgrown. I don't know, it's probably milfoil or something in there, but it's still owned by the town.
what association should be on? What
One over there, Lakelands.
It used to, it was part of theirs before,
And
but they don't
just
want it back.
Oh, they don't want it back, oh.
Well, no, it's not, I don't think it was ever considered, because there's no map and lot or anything.
Oh.
So when you go back through the deeds, that was not included, because there's no map and lot. So it's just,
Just there?
it's town owned, like, it's just this little, it's tiny,
Size of this room.
overgrown little walkway, but there's some docks out on there.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
they park their boats in there.
Well, who does?
People that,
People down that, around that end, on Beach Street, I know one guy.
Should they be allowed to do that?
I don't
No.
know.
No, it's town owned. So,
That's,
yeah, that
but
was.
wait, the plot thickens,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay?
Or-
In each person's deed over there,
It's only a mouth, Laura.
they
yes,
have access, deeded beach rights.
to that piece.
Doesn't
No, it
specify.
Well, here's where it gets a little cloudy.
Murky? This is where the water gets murky?
The
Water is already murky.
The association over there, unlike John's, is a voluntary association, meaning pay your dues, please.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's it.
the officers would like to put a little more meat in there,
So when we
please.
clean it up.
they would like to say to the people over there, pay your dues and you can use this nice beach. It's owned by the association. You don't pay your dues, you can take that crappy little beach over there that's owned by the town. That's why they don't want it back. They're using it for leverage to be able to encourage their members, the residents, to pay the dues. So, I get the feeling we've been used as a pawn. Okay? Yeah.
I think that's it.
There's a gentleman that called today that would like permission to clean up that area.
There's
That's
a trail,
it. That's it.
there's a trail down there,
Yeah.
and this is what's.
He could be one of the people not wanting to pay that, but I don't know.
Right, cause he wants to use that nice little
Yeah.
beach over
But he's
there.
asking to clean it up, but I don't know what the legalities are
A
on
dock
that.
that's attached that's kinda just flopped in the water.
So we could have to tear all that out.
So how did I get those pictures?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
so.
always thinking ahead.
So, if we allow someone to clean it up, are we not saying it's a town beach that can be used as a town beach?
Not necessarily. You can say, do not trespass.
Then how can we tell someone to clean it up?
No, we can't. We can just say we're not gonna do that. Although, if there's a dock there, just throwing this out, it could be, even though you're not supposed to trespass, should we clear the dock out? The dock, if this is the property, which I think it is, I've been down there.
Let's see,
which one, where is
I
it?
posted,
The end of Birch, it's like diagonally.
I
It's
think that's
Which way
it.
it's all
do they go?
grown in, so it's like
Yeah.
a
The
little
other way, John.
walkway.
That's where Debbie.
Make it a town dock.
Is that
There's
the,
houses
Another
right
one
around.
at the end of
there's no
Tangled.
houses around it?
No, there are houses.
Yeah.
It's- You start to drive in, for 2 or 3 houses right on the waterfront. And then there's a small road that goes off. Is that one we're talking about?
This is
There's a
it,
couple of
right?
trees.
It's looking out toward Lake Shore.
I believe so,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Maybe it's
That's
a
what
little
it looks like
overgrown
looking.
now.
From the property out to Lake Shore.
Jeez, the one I saw was much more overgrown than that.
You go to the end of Birch, and it's right diagonally across the street
Yes.
to your right. But
Across
is that the
Lake
one
Shore.
that's at the end of Tanglewood? That's nice and clean like that?
This is not
Across
the one
from
in
Yoda's
Tanglewood.
old place?
Well, the one in Tanglewood just has 2 piles of debris, that's about it. I mean, it's overgrown, but
Did they take that one back? There's actually 3 beaches down there. This one, you get the main one, you get the Tanglewood one. They took the main one, the good one. They don't want this one here for whatever
There's
purpose.
another one between that one and the main beach. There's
Well,
another one in there.
Did the gentleman indicate why he wanted to clean it up?
Yeah,
No.
Okay.
clean up, be a private.
I think the selectmen need to take a road trip.
Yep, road trip.
Figure out which one we're talking about. Okay?
You know, we'd have to wake up, that's for that one.
Should we take the helicopter? I think we should.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, well.
find out which one we're talking about.
Oh crap.
Laura,
I could show it to you on a map, but it's not numbered.
okay.
Yeah, it's real hard to see on the map.
We
I
go somewhere that's
propose,
got a
I
big
agree on
truck.
a road trip. Yeah.
Get it straightened out. But if it's town property, I would encourage the Lakelands Association to want it back. Otherwise, I propose we
Do nothing.
bar it,
Right,
Yeah,
prevent people from going on.
yeah.
They might still go, but we'll have signs, no trespassing.
and pull that dock out of there.
You're right.
If it's town property, why don't you sell it?
There's no map and lot
There's,
number.
yeah, it's just, there's no, it's weird. But it's Sunrise Lakelands owns 104 and 108, and then they own 221, which is on Sunrise Drive, that big parcel.
Right.
So they do own their 2 beach areas on Lake Shore.
The only,
That's not one of them.
we would have to get it
I'd like to,
surveyed, I
I'd like to
suppose.
figure out which one it is. The one I saw was uninhabitable.
Well, it's gonna be difficult to go down this thing right now because of.
The one I'm thinking of, you don't have to go down. You can stand
There
right
is
outside.
there is another one that has
Down.
boats on it, boat docks. That's, I don't know.
We could actually go down there and look at it now with the
Yeah.
snow and like that and walk in there, it's not that far.
Are you suggesting temporary recess or do it right now?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Road trip. All right, so in favor of tabling this till we can talk some more? I don't wanna give the person an answer because I'm sure which one I'm talking about. All right?
Okay.
I like the idea of selling a private beach to somebody.
I can't imagine.
Do you folks agree the town does not want a beach down there?
Yeah.
Because then you have to start providing parking, surveillance, clean it up, same way we clean up the one down here.
Porta potties, all that.
All right, anything else?
Make a
We'll try to
motion
go
to
this
adjourn.
week. That's well,
Okay, that's
What,
John?
private beach.
I thought I was supposed to be on the agenda, but
It's next
I
Monday.
guess I got,
Department heads next Monday.
next Monday?
Yeah, I
That's the
told
second
him,
Monday.
I told him, and I talked to him, we're doing some fees.
Yeah,
Okay,
So, he's been redoing his fees, so he thought he might just kinda,
you wanna present them now?
yeah.
well, I don't have anything to pass out, but I can go over them for you. The main ones that we have on our sheet already is the residential new construction, we're gonna keep the same way. Garage is the same, renovations the same, sheds and all others the same. The prices will be the same. I worked it out. What I did was I went to 5 different towns and looked at their fee rates and how they did it. A lot of them just don't go by square footage the way we do. They go by cost per thousand of what they're doing.
That's primarily commercial, right, John?
Right, the residential and commercial on these. Because we have a fee for commercial also. It works out almost identical with us using the numbers that we're using as opposed to what they're doing. So I left that alone. The solar, residential and commercial, I'm leaving alone for right now. We have to do a lot more research on that. I want to sit with the planning board, I want to sit with whoever wants to discuss it. I want to go to see some towns who are doing this. Because we don't have enough information on it. Electrical, residential, a flat fee of $50 per permit. Electrical, commercial is $100 per permit. Plumbing is $50, commercial is $100, mechanical is $50, commercial is $100. Generators, electrical and propane is $50, flat fee. A certificate of occupancy, I'd like to raise to 25 because for me to go out and do an inspection for an occupancy permit costs the town money. We only get $10 back on our fee that we have right now. All propane is $50 flat fee. Demolition, we've been doing it for nothing for I don't know how long. We have paperwork to do. It goes through 3 different places. Who pays for that? So I'm putting a fee on that. A renewal permit after 1 year. If you are still working on a project, it's gonna cost you $50 more to continue. A reinspection after a second inspection will cost you $25. Swimming pools, $25 for all. Re-roofing siding and windows, $25. Septic plan review, $25. I've been doing that for nothing for I don't know how long. And signs are $25, or we can charge per square foot. Those are the pretty much what the towns our size are charging. The only one that is really different is the solar, and we have to get a handle on that before.
For next Monday's meeting, could you present a list of the current fee, if there is one, and then the suggested new fee?
I can do that.
All right. Good, yes.
So I have a question, John. If you're going to charge for re-inspection, is there a form you're gonna fill out, or how are you going to, you might wanna think of that.
They can use the same number, all we have to do is up the number on it.
Right, but you're gonna start sending out bills, cause people usually just call you, you go do it, there's no.
I keep track of the forms in my drawer up there, and I know when they're overdue. I contact them and tell them, are you going to continue working on this project? Are you finished? What? If you wanna continue, it's going to cost you an additional $25. And I
Okay,
just
so you
add
probably need
that
to
to
come
the,
out with a form, cause you need to track those funds, that's all.
I don't
You
have
don't
a
just want
form
money
for
coming
it.
in randomly with no tracking on it. Do you know what I mean? You just need to, even if it's just a little checklist sheet of some sort, you need to track that. Cause right now, all of your money is tracked by a permit. They
Yeah,
fill out the permit, they give you the money goes with the permit. Do you see what I'm saying? If they call you and say, hey, I need another inspection, there's no paperwork for that. So there's no tracking of those funds, is what I'm saying.
The auditor.
I could do it on the regular permit form and just put right on there.
Well, you have, however you do it.
Right, I'm just
You
saying.
have to
think
have,
of that.
if it's a renewal, you have to have a check mark.
Yeah.
And then a fee applied, and it's tracked for the audit, because if you come funds in, it comes in, we don't know where it's supposed to go, if it goes in your account, you're gonna say, well, what's this for?
Right.
No, what I do, John, is I take the permit out of the drawer and I mark it right on the top, additional $25 or whatever the fee is. And I bring it right back downstairs with the check and the money, or the money. They record it again, it goes on that same permit. And you're using the same permit number. Everything's the same, you're just adding a year to it, that's all.
Well, I think the auditor would like some,
You can see it right on the slip.
There's just other tracking things that you're not seeing on the other side. Do you know what I mean? Like on that original form, there's a spot for the payment, how they paid, all of that. You can't just like start jotting stuff down in the margins. Do you know what I mean?
so you can
if somebody-
modify the permit to have two
Right.
spots. You could have
Extra,
an extra spot for a renewal with the same amount in, check receipt, da-da-da-da-da. Second renewal, I mean, you don't need to go that far, just a renewal and put a date. So you gotta have some kind of tracking on the form, writing it on
We
the
can do
building.
that right on a regular permit
Yeah,
form,
put it
just
on, just
add
adjust it.
renewal on
Just
there.
add another line, yeah.
That's simple enough.
All right, more business, less business. Anyone from the audience would like to talk about last night?
Nope, I don't.
John, want to talk about last night?
No, I'm happy.
Tom?
I don't care. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
At 7:13. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Wow.
Vote, let's sort of.